What's good, everybody? It's Mr. Composition MC that writes fiction. Back at it with another video. And what the heck is going on with Baby No Money? I reacted to his most recent video, Mary Poppins, and I thought it looked fun. I didn't even know the controversy that was going on. I was like, oh, yeah, that's interesting that somebody has like a dinosaur head over him, but I didn't really think nothing of it. I noticed that there was a couple of known streamers that was in there, and there was like the disclaimer at the beginning of the video, and I was just all like, okay, but the song and the video looked fun. But come to find out that the person blocked out was Gold, and it was for some strange reason, as far as I guess Gold's viewpoints, as far as on certain things. And I came across this video and it kind of put things together, but it's just interesting. As an artist myself, as well as a content creator, things ebb and flow. Like I would say, the very first video that I did of Baby No Money, over, 30,000 views, most recent video, not doing too good, you know what I mean? And so fan bases, things fluctuate, and so for me, observing creators make certain choices for the sake of, well, my audience, like for me, I try to set certain standards as far as like I am only reacting or doing stuff on the stuff that, I am associated with or I'm into. The reason why I'm doing this video is because I do a lot of Baby Nobody reactions, and so when seeing this, I was just all like, oh, that's an interesting way of doing things. So let's go ahead and dive into this.
Turning your back on your friend to appease the woke mob not only exposes your cowardice, but proves that your friendships only exist when it benefits your career. As the Canadian rapper bbno, or Baby No Money, who previously performed at the Streamer Awards fawning over Asmongold.
My favorite streamer without a dubious question is Asmongold, baby!
And yes, that is Asmongold painted on his chest, released a music video yesterday called Mary Poppins. It opens with a message saying, this was recorded, he was...
Yeah, so this was the message that was on there, which is crazy because there were some people, especially that Baby No Money is collaborated with, that are very questionable as far as their ethical beliefs. And from what I've seen from Asmongold, I'm not fully into the whole lore. I just have seen certain things and he seems pretty chill, like on a level of video relaxation that I don't even know if I'm comfortable with. Like I've seen and heard him having roaches going on the stream. Just some crazy stuff. So you go from having his face plastered, on you, to having him in the video, and then before the video comes out, you find out this information and you're like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and censor this person out. But we're at this point where I have friends with different beliefs than me. We live on this earth. Not everyone's going to have the same beliefs as you. Does that mean that you just disavow them? I mean, it honestly depends, on the whatchamacallit. But I will say this, just because you don't believe in the other side doesn't mean that you want bad things to happen. You know what I mean? And so we're in this place where it's just all like, well, if you support this, you're supporting the mass, deletion of men, women, and children and all this stuff. And it's just all like, bro, uh sometimes it's really not that deep.
aware of a certain individual's ethical beliefs. So he censored those whose values he does not support, which traps him as he's going to be asked to answer for the ethics and beliefs of everybody in the video that's not censored. And it's a large group of people who stream online for countless hours a week who are almost guaranteed to get caught up in their own controversy, but only the king in the middle was censored out, which was very obviously Asmongold, formerly from OTK, or One True King, as bbno no longer wants to be seen dancing around with him. But Asmongold harbors no hard feelings.
Like, this is why I've moved a lot away from like collabing and doing anything with anybody else, is because I know that obviously a lot of people don't want to be involved with the things that I do. I don't view this as like a bad thing, right? Like, it's just the way it is. I don't ever blame people for not wanting to be involved with it or not wanting to be involved with me because of it.
And later laughs it off, saying he just appreciates getting more teeth in post-production, which is a
and which he went about it in a very mature way, which I wish that some people would take that into consideration versus just being like jacked up, basically. They'll crash out on somebody like, oh, you loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. And it's just all like Asmongold, even though he's probably not as controversial as maybe some of those other streamers on there, he still took it like a chap and was just like, hey, you know what? I understand. I get it. I understand, and no hard feelings. Even making a joke as far as adding the extra teeth. So I think that was very dope and mature of him. I think that this is how some people can view it as far as towards Baby No Money. This person brought up a good point, which is if you're going to have that viewpoint of Asmongold, then you're going to have that viewpoint of everybody else on there that is similar or in some cases worse than Asmongold. And so the optics of it almost makes it seem like, again, that I'm not saying this is what Baby No Money is doing, but it gives the optics of you just using people. Asmongold is a super huge streamer. Going to the streamer awards and then having that, obviously that was a moment. Obviously that was, set up to happen, of course, but it doesn't make it seem genuine. And this is a lot of what we're seeing in content in general. There's several creators that talk about like, I don't really collaborate with people because of this weird stuff, the whether it be the clicked up, type of, vibe, whether it be a certain extreme vibe of doing stuff that hurts other people or themselves, whether it's just it turns into this almost elitist way of navigating, and it's not that deep. Are there streamers, content creators that are making super bank? Yeah. But that doesn't mean to treat people weird. That doesn't mean to not have a spine. It doesn't mean to, it doesn't mean to go about in ways where, oh, you're trying to appease everybody. And I've noticed some of that in some of Baby No Money's videos where, certain things, of course, for the aspect of garnering attention. And maybe that might be what this all is. Sometimes these people are straight up friends behind the scenes, and just towards the public to get attention, to get people talking about it. and which is unfortunate because it's just all like, I personally don't think Baby No Money's needs to do that. For the most part, anytime he drops a video, he's getting 1 million views. So it's just all like, the one thing that I notice that's going on, whether it be humiliation ritual that goes on and people are purposely humiliating themselves, or they purposely go out and, like in a recent situation, if you follow DreamCon or DDG, RDC World, or anything like that, DDG recently, him and his brother fought this one, person who was pretty much just quote unquote clip farming. That's another thing. So you have the people who are humiliating themselves on purpose. You have the people who are clip farming, which is to get yourself in certain circumstances where something viral may happen off of just the randomness. So him doing that, getting into a fight with DDG, that and him being able to clip that and to generate views, which if you're monetized generates money. So we got that going on. And then you have people who made a living by doing extreme or out there stuff, not realizing that you're going, in order to at that point stay relevant in some sort of capacity, is you got to continue upping it up or creating or being involved in controversy so your name gets brought up. And to me, as the creator, I personally don't find any worth in that, especially for longevity. And like I said, Baby No Money's is talented. And so to resort to things like this in order to get views on something or anything like that, it doesn't sit well with me. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. But before we get into that, this video is sponsored by me. Hey, if you want to dive into new music, I have a catalog. Catalog. Yeah. These are not singles. These are albums. But more recently this year, I did release an album called Tame Chaos. So you can listen, stream, download, purchase all of that in the link in the description. And just, check it out because I want to see if people are actually seeing this and going to the site. So anyways, sit
attitude for
well.
Asmongold to have, as I understand what it is to be seen as controversial or polarizing, and one of my hobbies is helping up-and-coming creators understand YouTube, but I take no offense and actually suggest that they don't publicly disclose our partnership, as someone covering sports, doing tech, or vlogging about fashion shouldn't even acknowledge politics, because like any conflict, it's super easy to get in, but almost impossible to get out, as the music video comments are filled with how long before he has to censor everyone, pointing out how he censored Asmongold, but not Mizkif, standing with Mizkif and Emily, but not Asmon, and that bbno's dance moves are even more impressive when you realize he does them without a spine.
Gee, God, wait. Damn. Shit. Oh my goodness, that was a bird like no other. Jeez Louise. I would say this in closing. I'll leave the full video if y'all want to see it, if y'all want to see it. But what I would say in closing is that I can understand on a image standpoint, partnership standpoint, different things like that. If one of your friends or someone that you collaborate with or someone that you like um has the potential to mess that up, I can understand about moving cautiously. What I do not understand is why wag your finger at Asmongold, but not the other people, because it was just censoring one person. It wasn't individuals. It was literally censoring one person. And so it just seemed in a way fake, it just, that's why when looking at some of this stuff, You know, it is smart. Like on for a creator, a musician to team up with streamers or anything like that, it is a smart decision. But I feel like it was unnecessary for Baby No Monies to do that. I mean, it could have simply just maybe had the statement like, hey, you know, this is a video full of people with different beliefs. Just because they're in this video does not mean that I personally agree with their beliefs. And that would have been fine. That would have been fine, you know, but even then it's still just all like and we're in this time where people want to pick and choose, which they have the right to, but you know, people also have the right to have a reaction and have a response back and have a critique and all those different things, especially when it's put online. So uh is this gonna make me not want to listen to Baby No Money? No, to me, it's not that deep. I do enjoy, you know, some of the music that he puts out, and I've been reacting to him, you know, since my, you know, first reaction. It's definitely been over a year at this point. I have a whole playlist, so that should let you know that it's real. But I could definitely just say that I don't agree with how this was being handled on Baby No Money's side. And I'm glad that people in the comments of that video were pointing that out. And it's unfortunate because I feel like it takes away from the song. It's actually a dope song, you know. So again, but any type of publicity, I guess, is good publicity. But I think at some point, it's like, where do you draw the line? And some people, that line has been erased. There is no line. And it's just like whatever would get the views, whatever would get the attention. And it's wild. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think Baby No Money is correct in the way that he handled it? Do you think that, you know, he might have overdid it? It wasn't that deep. Let me know in the comments. But it's Mr. Composition, MC that writes fiction. Back at it with another reaction. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video on the road to 10K. Make sure to check out the description for my music, books, comics, and more. All right, y'all. Peace.